So this video I'm going to be talking about how I keep consistent, specifically with exercise, because we could go into nutrition and habit forming and stuff, but then we can go down rabbit holes and go off point. So if you'd like me to record a video specifically on something, just let me know. So obviously I've got DigiCoach as a business. I have two young children, one age 5, one age 2, and I work whilst the children are in nursery and school. And one of the things that I am good at is consistency with exercise. I don't really track my workouts in terms of how many times a week I do them, but roughly on average it must be 4 strength training sessions a week, 4 or 5, and I make sure I get 2-3 stretching sessions off at least a week. I do believe we should be building up to stretch on a daily basis. We expect our bodies to move and sit at a desk and certain postures every day, all day. So I think the least that we can do is stretch our soft tissues out as a way to prevent any injuries occurring in the future or manage current injuries. It's also a way to de-stress as well. Anyway, first digression. So how do you get consistent with exercise? Now this video sparked from a check-in that I had this week. A person who is used to training in a gym. Now she's had a child and she feels like it's a bit of a struggle getting in a training session at home. It's a new habit that she's to build because you want to be realistic. What is it, Ari? So a few top tips to get started. So when I was training with my firstborn, I remember looking at my body and just not being happy with it. There's that sense of like you've lost your identity, especially with your first. Didn't have it so much with my second, but you don't really know who you are anymore, and all the dynamics in your life have changed. And then you have to get used to this new body as well and recover. And then the sleep routine, there is so much to think about. And you've kind of got to make a decision. You kind of got to be like, because I was a nighttime exerciser, I felt like the energy that I got from food in the daytime fueled my workouts, and I had awesome workouts. I had all the time in the world to work out. I'd spend a couple of hours in the gym a few times a week, and I also loved being in the gym as well, and my environment was set up for success in that regard because all my friends were at the gym and it was just somewhere we all hang out. And then when you have children, everything changes. And I wasn't somebody who had a babysitter on hand as well. Most of my family is in England. So it was either I stay unhealthy and unfit and have a low amount of confidence, like most people in the UK, overweight, unhealthy, or I practice what I preach, like what direction do I want my life to go. So I feel like there's a few crossroads, especially after you've had children, and who do you want to be and what do you want to be, and there's always a reason not to do something. If it's to start a business, if it's to move careers, if it's to do anything in life, there's always a reason not to, and most people don't, or they'll start something for, if they're lucky, 6 months and then they'll give up shortly after starting. So how do you get consistent, especially with all the reasons and sleep deprivation as well? Now, I saw it as a challenge. Number one, see it as a challenge. So I was like, so my firstborn, she would fight sleep until like 10 o'clock at night, I remember. It might have been later than that, but roughly average 10 o'clock at night. Then she'd be up at 3 a.m. and I tried to get her down. She'd like to sleep on my chest, and every time you moved her, she was so unsettled and so clingy. And I remember thinking, I'm so tired, and I was like doing mad mum stuff, like putting the keys in the fridge and couldn't find the car keys. I couldn't find them anywhere, that kind of stuff, and got sleep deprived. But I thought, if I can exercise or do something that's going to move my body in a small way consistently, if I can do anything today, if it's just to like for myself to manage stress, because I started to see exercise different. It wasn't something that I was trying to build muscle and look aesthetically pleasing. I was trying to manage stress. I was trying to do something for me, and the more you do it, the more you build that habit and that routine. So first of all, pick a time of day that suits you and your kids or newborn. Usually it's the morning. They can potter around and they might be having a nap at like say 10 o'clock in the morning. But don't be afraid to exercise around them as well. This is mummy's time, and you're teaching them that for themselves as well as they're growing up. That your you time is important. It's self-care. It's not being selfish. You are filling your cup so you can help out and be present with them later on in the day, and a bigger patience for them later on. Know that you will get interrupted during your workout. Some workouts will be like getting interrupted 50,000 times. I've had some of the best workouts during leg days with the kids interrupting me, because then I've taken that as a recovery, might have been 5 minutes, and then I've gone into a fresh set and got more reps with the heavier weight. So yeah, know that you will get interrupted and be okay with it. Just see it as a rest period. Make peace with it, because the sessions that you don't get interrupted, you'll appreciate them more. And see, when you next get to go to the gym and you've got a sitter when they're a little bit older, you're going to appreciate that gym session so much, and you're going to build such a good positive relationship with exercise. So see it as a challenge. If you can do anything when you're that sleep deprived or really don't want to do it, you're creating discipline, that you work on that skill of discipline. Embrace imperfect action. So what I mean by this is, a lot of people when starting out feel like they've got to like tick every single box, every single goal, which leads to overwhelm, which leads to burnout and termination of the program. So knowing that it's you versus you not trying, and you're outdoing everybody else who's sat on the sofa. You're outdoing everyone else who's not trying to grow as a person, change their mindset, exercise, try and eat healthy. Every time you check yourself and be like, is this an all or nothing mentality? Just because I've had a milkshake in the morning and I feel like I want to go into fuck it, is this me doing all or nothing? Absolutely it is. So how can you turn it around? If you get a shit start off to the morning, how can you make your afternoon better? Can you work off the glycogen, the stored carbs that you've just ate? Can you work it off have an awesome session? And you start to use that to your advantage. Yeah, you overeat. It's totally normal to overeat, especially in an obesogenic environment that we live in. But if you can have an awesome leg session the next day and use that energy for your personal best and getting stronger, you're making a positive out of it. It's the mindset that's really important. So embrace imperfect action. If you get a good start off to the day every morning, get your fruit in, get your fibre, get your protein in your breakfast. And if you can do that, it sets a tone for the day, and it become routine, and pick on one meal at a time. So consistently have a good breakfast, ticking all those boxes. And if the rest of the day goes to shit, at least you got a good breakfast in. And then every single day is a fresh start. You don't have to wait week to week to start. You don't have to wait till Monday to restart. And that brings me to number 3, which would be, when you do fall off track, and it's inevitable, everybody's going to do it. The longer you're off track for, the more damaging that is to your results. If shit hits the fan, kids are sick, you're sick, or maybe you're massively sleep deprived or stressed from work, you feel really highly stressed, everything like your eating, your steps go in the bin. Get straight back on it the next day. And look back on the previous day, what could you have done better? Well, I know that everything went to shit, but I could have probably got in a few steps on my walk pad. Could have got on the bike to use some of that glycogen. How can I make today better? What would I have done differently? I want you to start thinking about that. It's called creative reflection, and implementing, trying something, trial and error, trying something new next time when that does happen. But make peace with the fact that you will fail, but learn from it, because it's all part of you growing as a person and achieving incredible results. So let go of the failure. Once it's happened, it's happened. Learn from it, move on. Don't give yourself shit about it. So I hope this helped, and comment below if you've got any questions or if you'd like to see any more videos on certain topics.